So it's been 1 month now since I first got my hands on the iPhone 17, what I believe to be Apple's best iPhone released in years. In this simple, unscripted video, I just want to share some of my raw thoughts on why I believe the iPhone 17 is the best one released in a while. And even compared to the Pro and the Air options, I am still personally opting for this 17. It's not to say this phone is perfect, but I'm willing to live with some of the compromises for the price. So starting with price, we have $800 here on this base iPhone 17 with 256 gigabytes of storage. I personally switched to this iPhone after using a 15 Pro Max. I just found that display to be very large and that larger phone was kind of distracting for me. So switching to this iPhone 17, a smaller size. This has the 6.3-inch display, which I will say in my first month of usage felt a little smaller for me personally. I use a lot of Samsung phones throughout the year that a lot of these other phones have 6.5, 6.7-inch displays. Of course, even the iPhone Air having a larger screen at 6.5 inches. But I think the trade-off of a smaller screen is worth it here on the iPhone 17, considering how good of a display we have on this. So even though it is just the 6.3 inches, we have very good brightness on this, no matter what environment I've been in. Have had no problem seeing this screen. Battery life also, I would say, has been good enough for a smaller size iPhone. I can notice compared to the Pro Maxes, there is a little less battery here. I am reaching for my power bank a little bit more these days, but I'd say it's not a deal breaker. It is very easy and accessible to just grab a charger wherever you are. We also have faster charging speeds on this iPhone 17 this year. I'll show some of my charging tests on screen here. It's noticeably faster for me compared to the iPhone Air. And while it's not the fastest on the market by any means, it definitely is appreciated. And pairing that great display with what is a lightweight and very portable phone is what I have loved so much as well. I personally have an iPhone 13 Pro Max that I've really loved and used over the years. I actually cracked the back glass on this dropping it, so I put a D-brand skin on this, not sponsored, but they do seem to have some utility outside of looking pretty cool. But I can notice it is a night and day difference holding these two phones. I understand the 13 Pro has some stainless steel going on, some different materials, maybe a little bit more durable. But the sharper edges on this compared to the more rounded sidings and edges on the new 17, in addition to a noticeably lighter weight, I love just grabbing this at a moment's notice, throwing it in the pocket, grabbing it quickly to take some pictures and videos. Everything I've done on this iPhone 17 has been an absolute joy, I would say, aside from just the slightly smaller screen. I do wish Apple made a iPhone 17 Plus. I know they got rid of it because sales of the previous gens weren't as good, but I think those screens needed this 120 Hz refresh rate in order to sell well. I know there's now an iPhone Air in the mix, which pretty much is now the Plus of this generation, but there are compromises on this Air. Even though I gave this Air a fair chance and used it as much as I could, I absolutely love the titanium feel on this. Compared to the aluminum on the base 17 does feel a little less premium. I just personally could not get by the single speaker setup on this Air compared to the base 17. Just has a very good dual speaker setup as you'd expect on any flagship phone out there. I just personally cannot pay $1,000 for a single speaker setup regardless of how good the device is. I know a lot of people out there say just use a pair of AirPods or get some headphones or something. But when you go with something like this base iPhone 17, when you're getting more functionality and you have some extra money freed up to get a pair of those AirPods or something, it's just a totally different value proposition here with this 17. Performance has been excellent on this. Can't say I've ever closed an app yet on it. iOS 26 has been pretty interesting. There are some little details such as certain elements going into each other, like the plus there at the bottom. There's just a lot of little kind of aesthetic choices Apple made with the software. You can also see here in some of the UI elements, they have some liquid glass going on. So when you're scrolling through things, you can see it just kind of blends into the phone. I guess on one hand, it is a little bit overkill probably, but I would say it's not getting in the way of my experience. And as long as you can still see things pretty accessibly and you know where things are. I do like when some of the menus, you can see them a little bit easier like this. It still has a little bit of the see-through there on a black window. So just some really cool looking designs here. So I'm definitely liking the software. Personally, I have not touched any of the AI features at all. I know that's a big aspect on everything nowadays, but probably showing my age, but I just really use ChatGPT these days for most things. And overall, this iPhone 17 has just been an excellent device for using in everyday life. Been loving the action button for just simply turning on the flashlight, and I don't even need to have the phone on to do that. As the reason I bring that up is because I'm checking out a Samsung rugged phone right now with a built-in flashlight button. And I'll show when the display is on. I can hit that flashlight perfectly fine, but then if I have the display off, I can't even turn it on. And then what's even worse, if I have the screen on, turn on the flashlight, screen goes off, then I still can't turn it off then. So Apple actually kind of executing a little better on something simple as that. I just turned it back off, screen wasn't on. This has just been a very solid everyday use phone that honestly doesn't have all that many compromises compared to the Pro, with the exception of the telephoto lens. So this is pretty much the difference between these two phones camera wise. We have up to a 40 times zoom on the 17 Pro, which honestly, I am missing that a lot because I love to have zoom versatility on my phones. It's very nice versatility on the 17 Pro, whereas the base iPhone 17, just the 10 times maximum digital zoom on this. So really not much zoom versatility at all. But to me personally, there is a big cost going with this Pro phone, just given the form factor it is, how much heavier and chunkier it is. Considering how much lighter and just less chunky this phone is overall, much nicer to use this on an average everyday basis. But as far as the cameras that are here on this iPhone 17, honestly, incredible cameras. Across the line here, the Air 17 and the Pro, just the standard 48 megapixel camera has been very good for me on all these phones. Video has also been very good, filming smooth 4K 60 on this, no problem at all. For me personally, for filming my YouTube videos and things, this is everything that I'm looking for. Just a lightweight phone that can film really good videos. And that also goes for the front-facing camera in this, getting the improvements as far as being able to film in landscape while holding the phone in portrait orientation. And the one other downside, I know it's not a deal breaker for a lot of people probably, but we have what is a USB 2 port on the bottom of this. It is the newer Type-C, but it has slower transfer speeds compared to the Pro by a pretty significant amount. So for me personally, I am filming a lot of 4K 60 videos on this. You have to transfer them off. I know everybody praises AirDrop, but when you have larger size files, AirDrop can take a long time. So when it takes a long time to get it off through the port or through AirDrop, it just makes the phone feel a little more limiting in that aspect if you're trying to use this a little more professionally. But aside from those two aspects, the lack of the telephoto lens and that slower USB port, you are pretty much getting the iPhone Pro this year in the base iPhone 17. I think that is why it is one of the best iPhones in recent years. The combination of a lightweight, great feel, excellent performance, not a ton of compromises compared to the Pro. For me personally, this iPhone 17 is the iPhone that I'm going to continue to use. It is the one I'm going to be recommending people to get if they're interested in getting a new iPhone. And I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on the iPhone 17 in the comments below. Be sure to give a like on your way out, and thanks so much for watching. Take care.